It's the first men's basketball coaching change this century at Rocky Mountain College. Hello, everyone. This is Rocky Erickson with Montana Sports. Today on the Frontier Conference Update, a visit with the new head men's basketball coach at Rocky, Danny Neville. This week's Frontier Conference Update is sponsored by First Interstate Bank. For the past quarter of a century, Billy Drykosen was a basketball coach at Rocky. His Bears won 399 games, including the 2009 NAIA National Championship. So who is Danny Neville? Well, his players win on the court and in the classroom. During his 8 seasons at the University of Jamestown, his teams won almost 70% of their games and excelled in the classroom with some of the highest GPAs in Jamestown men's basketball history. Coach Neville's thoughts on taking over the basketball program at Rocky Mountain College?
Yeah, it's just, you look at what a good job Bill did in his career. National championship, Rocky Mountain's well known, throughout the country at the NAI level. And, for me taking over, we had good success at Jamestown, but again, that doesn't grant anything future-wise, but we're gonna try to do what we need to do to be successful and take this team to a different level. And, coming to Billings, Montana, it's kind of unique for me because, just how they merged with the North Star. And, when I first started out, I was in the North Star, so familiar with a lot of teams, and obviously we played Carroll a few years back as well. Just super excited to have my own team again and come to a team that honestly doesn't need a whole lot of help. They won 18 games last year, and they've, had, like I said, had good success in the past.
So what style of basketball will Coach Neville bring to Rocky?
Yeah, that's a funny question right now. So I was really up-tempo. We had teams that were super skilled and smart and could really, really score on the offensive end. And I had teams that averaged 92 points a game. We always shot efficiently. I had multiple teams we averaged 17-plus assists, so we're sharing the ball. And then I go to Langston University this year, and, Chris Wright down there does an unbelievable job. And he's more of a slow-paced, really, really guard you and really rebound. So I'm at a crossroads with it. I do think you look at the Final Four, they're all really, really good on the defensive end. So I would say we're always going to be good offensively. I like having skilled players, and, I like guys that can really score, but I think we'll spend a bit more time on the defensive end after being, with Chris Wright for a year.
Coach, at Jamestown, you have a track record of your players doing very well in the classroom. Tell me your perspective on student athletes.
Yeah, it all ties into our recruiting, but it's funny, though, because the times where we had the highest GPAs, we went the farthest. 3 years, I think, where we had top 10 GPAs in the country. We had Elite 8, Sweet 16, Sweet 16. But academics is super important, and I think it all is compatible with your success on the court.
So how excited is head coach Danny Neville to bring his family to Billings?
Yeah, we're excited. My wife's got to get used to it because we're just getting used to the Oklahoma weather. So we didn't have any snow this year. It was kind of different for us. Me and my son are outdoorsmen, so we'll love that. He loves fishing. My wife is a teacher, so she kind of nervous about it, but once she gets a job and gets going, she's the nicest person in the world, so everyone loves her. It'll be nice to get settled in and meet people, and just excited for me personally to be a head coach again.
Let's just say I'm excited as well to have Danny Neville and his family in Billings.